We're on?
I think we're on.
You're on. We're on. I'm recording this week. We on?
We're on. Monday, time for Josh and Andy. 2 Jews, 2 mics, and some high chew candy. Make a pot of coffee, trust me, it'll come in handy. Andy said that to his wife on his wedding night. Now he goes to therapy to get his mind right. Andy smoking pot, tweeting the Russian bots. If you ask what he said, he probably forgot. Josh Weinstein is a motherfucking pimp. Mock movies on TV when he was a little kid. Now he's making docs better than Michael Moore ever did. Every week they analyze current events, then they throw in some impressions and some funny accents. Minnesota and New York to the Golden State. They won't ever sell out except to rhombus space. And he always forgets to plug the show, so even though they're known across the globe, they have an audience that's smaller than the suits of Jimmy O's. Jimmy O's, Jimmy O's. That's why this show will never go viral. Remember the name, they call it Thought Spiral.
The following podcast is audio.
You know, I was in the voiceover studio the other day. I don't want to brag about what it, you know, I put my names I drop, I put them on a Pensy Pinky.
On a what?
A Pensy Pinky?
What's a Pensy Pinky?
I gotta get another. Okay, I'll try it again.
All right.
On a Super Bowl.
Ah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that when the names come right back up to me.
They ricochet around the room if you drop them hard enough.
Don't say that because that reminds me of how bad I am at that other sport.
Pensy Pinky?
No, the one you were good at with all the executives play. Come on, Schmeckel, I'm going to kick your ass today. No, you're not, Mr. Swanson. When I get your ass into that field squash court.
1980s racquetball? Is this what you're talking about?
Yeah. Why was my dad like a high school champion in handball? How did that help me?
It didn't help you, clearly.
Plus, if I can go by myself, there's some exaggeration there. I don't know what it is exactly, but if he's anything like me, because he's my father,
yeah,
there may be some exaggeration.
There might not have even been a high school handball championship.
He didn't even have a handball court. Did you ever you played handball and they used to go a thing that was like a wedgie was called?
Is that right?
I know it's not the wedgie, so I'm saying it the wrong word, but when it hits in the corner between the wall and the floor.
Yeah. I don't know. A trick shot?
I hate that sport so much. I have no idea how to do it. How could you put me in a room like that? You might as well. It's like taking a Jew somewhere.
Well, you gotta be willing to run into walls, first of all.
Yeah, but how do you get the idea of the sport? How do you get to see a flying ball go off one wall, other wall, and then what? You hit it on the way back? I can't even get the description of it. It's like watching cricket. Not watching cricket. Yeah. It's like playing cricket.
When have you played cricket?
No, I was going into the mode of as one would, like what would happen. I have to close a door. I'm sorry.
Okay. Make sure you open a window.
Am I back?
You're back.
Just once I would like the thing to happen, be like something on your level. The dogs got out. There's a package at the door.
Yeah.
I don't ever have that. It's always, I forgot to close the door to the room
you live in a condo, so the biggest thing that's going to happen is beep.
What is that? Wait, is that at the front door?
That's the beeper at the front door, yeah.
That's why I had to get a package today. I couldn't believe, that's why it wasn't that I was late for the package, but the package came at 10:25, so I was like so excited that it wasn't going to disturb the thing.
Yeah.
That's got to be I bet in the future there's not going to be you have to answer a door buzzer from the 40s that you can't see out of. And then they said you better make sure to ask who's at the door. But if you don't, but I don't know what they're saying through that buzzer system. Hi, who's there? And is it really better if they go, what murderer wouldn't say FedEx? FedEx.
All right. That's how we got Land Shark.
That's not a true story, though, right?
Yeah, it was. Ripped from the headlines.
So, let me just say a couple things going into this.
Before you say another word, will you please tilt down? Because I want to see your chin. Oh, boy. Oh, there you go. So that's what the rest of Kilroy looks like.
I don't know what that reference is.
You don't know what Kilroy always here is?
No, I don't know. Is it Yossarian?
No, it's classic 1930s graffiti.
I've never seen that. I've heard that my whole life and never heard of it. Why would I know? I'm older than you. I should have been just saying to everybody, who's that, Kilroy? Wouldn't you think that would be my generation?
I would have thought you would have learned it from Hunt's Hall.
I thought you were going to go with learn more from Killjoy. That's what I thought you'd say.
Really?
Killjoy.
That's how little you think of me.
Sometimes if you're like sleepy, you'll come up with a joke at the level of something I would write. Come on.
Okay. Fair enough.
You get hit in the balls and you can't think straight. You might come up with an Andy Kindler line. Like,
I should have said 2.
What am I, the guy who gets hit in the balls now? Is that what I am? Hey, who says hit the Jew? Here's would be the Rickles way. Who said hit the Jew in the balls with a thing?
That was more the Ed Krasnick way, I think.
I am Ed Krasnick way. It's not like it's
not. It's a blurry line. I'll admit that.
I'll never forget when we had that show, The Pet Shop, and I was the host, and he came on. I'll never forget. It's just he came up on his old McDonald, and we just couldn't wait to execute this joke. He go, "Hello, Andy." I said, "Hello." I know what you're gonna ask me, and the answer is no. I never get tired of that song. And he starts singing the. I forgot the song now. Old MacDonald. It's just so funny. He is so fucking funny. He played like a lizard that was living in the dead. We had to come up with bits because you could only have dogs on the show as pets, really. You know what I mean?
That also sounds like a Rickles line. He's got a career. He can only have dogs on the show.
I'm afraid you're going to hang up on me too early today because we started late, and which is all my fault. It's all my fault.
Well, I don't have a hard out. You create the hard out.
I haven't had a hard out since I stopped taking Viagra.
And away we go. He's clutching his chest. He's reclined on the couch. Come back.
Come back, Big Daddy.
Sit up like a big boy.
You got to see me. Most of the good podcasts they're looking at each other. Otherwise, what's the point of it?
I know. The thing is, we got into podcasting late, so now we have to get into video podcasting late.
I hope we're going to make this available for the people who, they pay an extra $5 a month and they get to have. We send them video cassettes or something. All right, look, I'm not going to. What a game yesterday, right? Wasn't that was a great game?
It was a great game.
And I was rooting for the Chiefs. So who are you rooting for?
Are we talking about it like media people?
Like regular people.
That was a great big game yesterday.
No. I mean, I'm talking
Get
about
all your friends over for the big game.
No, we're not talking about generically. Super Bowl.
Super Bowl, yeah.
Who are you rooting for?
I was not rooting for a single team of the two.
So then you probably did not even enjoy it then, did you?
I wasn't enwrapped by the whole thing. I was supposed to go to a party, didn't go because I wanted to work, so I was kind of working throughout the whole thing.
Are you working on a different project?
Yeah,
How's it going?
It's going on. It involves editing, so it's slow.
Oh.
But it's oh so satisfying.
So
I do have to tell you, I do really like editing more than writing a lot.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Much more satisfying.
That really is interesting.
Much more satisfying.
Because writing's boring.
Writing is boring and more self-loathing.
Do you ever get this when you're writing? That's it. Now, finally, I came up with the line I've been waiting for.
Yes, but never when I'm actually at the computer writing. It usually happens in the shower, and then hopefully I hold on.
Oh, okay. What happens in the shower? You get an idea?
The actual breakthroughs rarely happen during the task.
So these people who get up, like Stephen King, who can't wait to get to the thing, they don't even eat, go right down to the horrible room, wherever that Randy Newman has to write in, because he hates it. But they don't hate it. They go down and go, I got to get my 7 hours in, and then I go to the pool.
Right.
We're never going to be those kind of people.
Well, I'm working towards it more and more.
Well, I mean, this isn't a job interview.
No, but like I said last week, I'm trying to get a little more buckled down in my life. I'm trying to. That doesn't really equate to structure with me.
Right.
But it does. But I'm trying to not let things linger on my list quite as long.
What do you mean it doesn't relate to structure?
I mean, I don't.
It doesn't affect the structure.
Well, I just mean I can't. I still am not going to be one of those. I write from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. every day people.
I'm going to be one of those people who is irate from 9. Did you see what I did there?
Yeah.
You're not going to be one of those people irate, right?
Uh-huh.
So I go, but you're going to be one of those people who is irate.
Huh.
You don't like wordplay?
No, I enjoyed it a great deal.
So?
That was more word rehearsal.
First thought, word rehearsal. Sir. Well, I just want to button up the incredible discussion we were having about the football game by saying I love that Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
I love the whole game. I enjoyed.
Were you enraged? Were you enraged by the referee's decision at the end that affected the outcome of the game?
No, but I don't know. I'm rooting for Kansas City at that point, so it's very hard for me to get upset.
Yeah, okay.
Very hard for me to get. It looked like a holding. It looked like it was technically holding, but I don't understand when you slow it down and you go fast or whatever the thing was. It didn't look like it. Didn't the guy said he thought he held? The guy himself said that.
Yeah. Well, he did hold. It was one of those. It was a marginal call. I don't. In my opinion, it didn't.
Yes,
it didn't seem like it affected his route, and yet,
right.
This is how they call it. They see it. They flag it.
Was that? Would that have prevented? Would they still have been able to get a field goal?
I absolutely think they probably still would have gotten a score. Yes.
Yeah, because they were at the 10 or something like that, or 15.
Well, that's what
right?
the penalty got them there.
Oh, they were at the 25, maybe? I don't know.
Further out.
But I love those Kelsey brothers.
You didn't watch the Super Bowl, did you?
I did. I watched every play. Now, the Kelsey brothers,
yeah.
Do you think still, with all the stuff that they show on screen, when it gets to Thanksgiving or something, they go, yeah, I was on the Super Bowl team. Also, I play an actual position, fuckface. I play an actual, real position.
Right.
Oh, do you want to practice? You want to hand me the spaghetti under my legs?
Show me eating while he scores a touchdown, please. Thank you.
But that's a wrong thing to say because he's a center. It's the offensive guards who we don't care about and the offensive tackles. No, he's a center. First of all, could not be a center because of the OCD.
I think there's a lot of other reasons.
Can't you compartmentalize for the sake of the discussion?
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's just hard to look at a 5'6" guy going, I could never be a center because of the OCD.
Right, but I'm not saying it as a 5'6" guy. I'm saying imagine me as a big.
Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't take the leap.
Like this guy who I saw the movie about.
Imagine you my size.
Right, but like the guy I saw this, I thought it was an excellent documentary, but I know that you're going to say that it wasn't a perfect documentary,
yeah,
and it wasn't.
I'm an asshole. I get it.
No, but I can't say that. I can't say I enjoyed it, and therefore it was a great documentary. It was moving to me. It was called The Governor, about this guy who he's famous for being in that Lock, Stock, and Barrel movies.
Yeah,
but before that he was a unlicensed fighter killer guy, and then he was a bouncer at clubs.
An unlicensed fighter killer guy?
They had fights that were very popular in England. They were unlicensed fighting.
Okay.
And I think they were I don't even know if they had gloves. It seemed to me like they were
barroom bare knuckle fighting kind of thing.
Right, but he was huge. Right. He was huge, very popular in this particular thing.
Gotcha.
And then so they find out his son does the documentary. So they find out that you find out that he had terrible OCD. So in other words, he goes, when he would go to school in the morning, whatever, he would count 250 steps. If he missed one step, he'd have to go back. So his OCD, and the guy was saying, who was his son who made the movie, was saying, we grew up in the East End of London, and it just back at that time period, people were be afraid to say they had that disease. Well, I was afraid to say it in 78. Because it sounds crazy. It doesn't sound it sounds crazy. It sounds like, well, you have one of those things that you need to be committed for. But I just thought the thing that was so interesting to me was that this guy who would pulverize you if you looked at him funny was so hurt by what he had and saying what he had, and that would make him a man or whatever the thing was, you know.
Whereas I tend to think that anybody who will beat you up is hurting inside.
It's true. That's true. I never looked at it that way. Well, Mark Maron said to me during the game yesterday, because this is what I said, and you know, it's like it's interesting in a way now that I really
I'm watching the Super Bowl bounce around the room after that.
After what name?
Mark Maron said to me yesterday during the game.
He didn't say to me. He tweeted at me.
Oh, okay.
So I was tweeting, and he tweeted at me. Oh, here's what I tweeted. And to me, I think it's interesting to tweet it, and to also, I think I did actually a decent job of tweeting an opinion without then being driven by the people who disagree with me to then upping my opinion. All I said was, which I actually believe, is like, I don't find Danny McBride to be funny. That was the tweet. I just don't. He does not make me laugh. I'm sorry. All the people who told me, people I respect who think he's hilarious. I don't quite get it. So then people were going back and forth on that. But the idea that it was like, it was interesting when I could take away the pain of Twitter, and take away the pain of not understanding when I started comedy or until I got help, that everything is not about the end of the world and you're not the truth teller, and you know, you can't do jokes that are mean, that are by definition mean spirited, without people thinking that some people are going to have their feelings hurt. You know,
right.
So everything was so. I don't know. It just made me feel like now that Twitter's almost over, or that it's not going to be I don't know if it's almost over, but I don't care about it as much anymore. Mm-hmm. And then it became like a social. I could see the social, because people were telling me what they did like. I wanted to ask you though, does he crack you up?
Danny McBride?
Yeah.
No, generally not. I mean, he's capable of it, but
see, I thought that everyone's like the East Side. I watched East Side and Down. It wasn't like I watched 2 or 3 episodes, but I couldn't stand it. I mean, I couldn't laugh at it, but I also didn't like that movie with the series with the cursing cowboy, and people love that. So, The Waking Dead, Talking Dead,
right.
Living Dead,
something.
What is it called?
I don't know. Dead and Single. I don't know.
No, there was a famous show on HBO for years. Deadwood.
Ah, okay.
Deadwood. Now, you did watch Deadwood, right?
I did watch Deadwood for the first couple of seasons. I didn't watch it all the way to the end, but.
And did it start to get old for you, but not because of the guys that put the fucking horse back in the yard, Haas?
Something like that, yeah. No, yeah, it just, you know, I get disenchanted with shows. It's not like they go bad. It's just I wander off. I
watched the first year of White Lotus, and I was delighted.
Good.
I know it's been a long time. I was absolutely delighted, except there's one scene in there that both Susan and I said, is that necessary?
Yeah.
Is that, we both went, oh, please.
Yeah.
Please don't do that. And I guess that means that it had the intended effect.
Probably. It was probably meant to make you recoil just a bit.
But the acting, that guy who plays he sounds like he's from Australia, who's like the head of the hotel or something, he's so fucking amazing, that guy. And the front desk guy, and the guy who marries the very pretty girl. Oh, he's so terrible. The guy who the show is about him on his honeymoon.
Yeah.
God,
I haven't seen the show, so I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. Period. So I'm waiting.
It's like you're on a show.
You go.
It's like we're on Crossfire, and I'm saying from the left, and you're like, I don't argue about that.
I just haven't seen it, so I was letting you talk directly to the audience about your.
Wouldn't that be a good Crossfire skit? Right in the middle, you go, look, I don't like this. You believe one way, I believe the other way. So. Right. I have some other stuff I needed to talk to you about.
Okay. Did you have a favorite commercial in the Super Bowl?
I thought they were all pretty horrible, but a couple of them made me laugh.
Yeah.
Can you tell me the ones that were? I did not laugh at the Steve Martin. I thought they did a good job with their job, but it wasn't funny to me.
Right.
Is it good or is it not good?
Right.
I mean, I guess it's because at the end, Maybe it's because at the end the product can't live up to the hype.
Yeah, it's not a good campaign. I thought Steve Martin hit funny beats in his, but it's not a good campaign.
Who else did it too?
Ben
Somebody
Stiller
else
did a bunch of...
Yes, yeah. And I just have this feeling that Ben Stiller does not want to do, like he probably doesn't come home and go, I got to do the guy from the what is that movie called? Where it's a very funny movie.
Zoolander?
Yes, it's a very funny movie. I haven't seen the whole thing, but what I've seen of it made me laugh very hard. Who's the guy who's his foil in that movie who also does it? Is it like Vince Vaughn or?
No, it's I think it's one of the Wilsons.
Right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So I don't think he goes home and goes, honey, I got to do my Zoolander character again for the Pepsi commercial. It was very fun, very satisfying. I would think it's hard to convince him at the meeting until they bring the money.
I think the meeting starts with the money.
Yeah, it's $5 million.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, that's good.
The whole
Zoolander.
I don't know. The whole. I feel like the whole Super Bowl ad thing is kind of over now.
It is. It really is over.
It's such a manufactured topic for conversation that it's...
Well, you know how you know it's over? Because you start thinking the ones like 15 minutes before and some of the ones throughout are all Super Bowl commercials, and they're not. You know what I mean? There are some that... There's not like everybody paid $75 million for a minute to say something. There are some that are like even regional or something, or I might be wrong.
Well, there's some that give back to the locals, but not much.
Right.
It's too valuable real estate.
So all that fast,
but not everybody. But not everybody makes a new spot.
Right.
But it's I mean, I was working, so it's like there was a lot of times where I just I went with normal TV instincts and just sort of tuned out during the commercials and went, oh, that's right, it's the Super Bowl. But
I haven't watched reality yet. Because Susan was taking a nap at halftime, so I said, "Let's watch this later when we're both into it." How was it?
It was okay. I mean, it's not like you're going to like it or recognize.
Was it high flying? Just tell me, it was high flying?
It was like a tribute to the video game Joust, as far as I was.
Oh, are you kidding? That's interesting that you said, because that's one of the few video games. I haven't played a lot of video games, but Joust happens to be one of my favorite games.
It will remind you of that in some ways.
Are you jousting me? See, I have a feeling that jest and joust come from the same Greek or Latin root, and that if I knew that, people would think I was smarter.
Well, both things happened in a medieval king's court.
Jesting and jousting?
Yes.
That's right, because you were the court jester.
Uh-huh.
Or you...
He just went straight back into his music stand with his head.
You don't comment on those two things I have?
I just see like a children's book and...
No, one says therapy. And one says comedy. And here's the funny part. I spell comedy, Calmedy.
Well, that's not on camera, so I had no chance at that.
Josh, I have some news for you. I really am starting to enjoy these sessions for the podcast.
Yeah.
Recently.
Really? Is it
what the fuck is that about? Like, I get off the phone and go, that was fun.
Yeah. I think it's the dearth of human contact you've had for the last 3 years.
No. You know what it is? Have you ever been part of something that's going to the next level?
No. No, I haven't.
We are like the Chiefs. Here's the thing.
All right.
Is the Super Bowl ultimately depressing because just watching one football game isn't that great unless you love the team? If you're on a team, if you love the teams, then you're sitting there from the first to the end.
It's not. It's a weird. It holds a weird place for me because obviously as a Vikings fan, it never has the ultimate stakes. But
well, I'm a Jets fan. They did win once and still doesn't have the ultimate stakes. Yeah, now it doesn't feel that way.
It's been half a century. That's why.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that gets me in my my outsider bone in a way.
Right.
It's like, it's this. We're all supposed to watch this and participate in this thing, but it's really just a football game with commercials.
So I agree with that in a way. But I would say that I have the most fun when I have the foresight beforehand to go, I'm watching Wild Card Weekend no matter what. I mean, I watched everything this year. But to me, it's like, that is the most fun. And even the Monday part of it was too much.
Yeah.
By Monday, I did not want the Monday night game.
Right. But you did invest in the football season, and it was a good football season. It was a good
football
There was a lot
season.
of good, fun, exciting games along the way.
And the tribute made me cry.
Which tribute?
To number 3.
Chris
I
Tillman?
can never remember his name.
Chris Tillman?
No, the guy. I swear to God, if you went right from there to Brian's song, Brian Piccolo. No, it's the guy from the Bills. Lamar Jackson?
DeMar Hamlin.
Yes. And we'll be back with old people. Now, Josh, I have things to talk to you about. Oh, did we do, did you, anything else? Anything, here's something. Anything about that Super Bowl? You see, the commercials there? You see some of the commercials? Because sometimes the commercials, it's like, who are these people? I think that, what's definitely over is celebrities selling. Well, I guess they just think, why not throw $7 million at it instead of $2 million at it, right? Even if we can't go, oh, people love that AT&T or Verizon or whatever because Cecily Strong and Jamadi are so hilarious.
Right.
But do they go? Someone goes, I know that guy. I'm going to go to get the phone.
Well, everyone can sign off on a celebrity. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's true.
You know what I mean? In order to, before you ever shoot the ads, you have to sign a contract with these people and hire them. So it's easy to get on board with 2 really talented people with names, if you're an executive.
But if you went back to 30,000 feet, Josh, and you wanted to say, and you wanted to back off and see how is this advertising effective? Part of me goes, yes. People hear that that's the madman guy, and they know that he played kind of wore a suit, and he was kind of like a sophisticated guy. So maybe that does still work.
Well, it works in the sense that someone famous is going to make you pay 1 notch more attention to the ad, and that's the best they can do.
Well, that's true. I think it's because you come from an advertising background in your family. Yeah. I'm not trying to put you down. You had that look like, what is this fucker going to say?
No, I didn't.
I'm saying, yeah.
No.
And you also like advertising.
I don't know if I like it that much, but I grew up noticing it because of my mom being in it.
Right. And Dick Van Dyke.
That was the way of our house, was to comment on the ads. And and everything, really.
Well, then how come you didn't?
And then I brought puppets into the mix when we were commenting.
When what?
Mystery Science
Which one?
Theater is what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. You don't care about the puppet. The bailiff is dead to you now?
The bailiff is not an important milestone in my career, I have to say.
Are you kidding me?
It was a great time that didn't pan out. It turned into this show, basically. That's the legacy.
Do you think that when they look back at this country after it all crumbles down and we're attacked by Chinese weather balloons, do you think that they'll look back and say, I forgot.
I don't know. I was still trying to find a way to get to, you mean next week?
Okay, look,
He took off his headphones. This isn't helping me. This doesn't help me with him with no headphones.
You know that there's a problem with me with the memory. And here's the thing. Many years ago, I told you that I realized that a lot of the things I talk about on the show are mawkish, and I haven't looked up the word yet.
Yeah.
Is it that what I'm doing? Like, I went to the hospital and I had cancer or whatever the thing. I'm not saying you, but I'm saying I had this happen and my OCD is getting bad and I hope I'm here next week, strangers.
I don't think it's. I don't think you lean to. You're capable of mawkishness, but I don't think it's your wheelhouse.
Oh, okay.
You're not. It's not in your wheelhouse, really.
So I'm not going to come out and go, let's hear it for the hostages one more time, please. I know it's been 54 years,
right.
But let's one more time. Let's keep it going. Right. So okay, then I feel better now. I feel better, but I don't know what my original...
I think there's when you go for childhood memories sometimes, that's when the mawkishness happens.
Yes, because
it's not the same. I mean, it's different. Mawkishness is different than pandering, which is what you're talking about, I think.
Yes. like they were saying,
mawkishness is like sentimental but sad.
Right, because they were talking about it in relation to Colin Quinn's show in the New Yorker.
Yeah,
they were like he does not want to ever come off as mawkish.
Right.
So he's allergic to that type of thing. And I was like, why can't my act? First of all, I've been doing a lot of these things. Like, why not me recently? Why not me? Why not me? Why don't I have that? Who had just had an HBO special?
Mark Maron.
Yeah, Mark Maron. So Susan goes, Mark Maron just had an HBO special. I go, why not me? Because, and I know quickly after that, because I'm not leaving the house. I'm not going anywhere.
Right.
I'm not putting effort in.
Right.
I'm not interested in taking it to the next level.
Right.
And that's all she wrote for me. I get up in the morning and go, that's all she wrote. If I can stay out of the home, it's a good week for me. Plus, I'm a what's it called when you're a niche? Like you're like only some people like you. You're like a best kept secret. What is it?
You're a niche act. You're a
no, not niche. It's something else. The guy you hate to love.
Cult. You're a
cult. That's right.
Yeah.
I'm a cult figure.
Sure.
Like Charles Manson.
Without the musical talent.
I've been listening to these. I get free. Do you have Amazon?
Amazon what?
Prime.
Yes.
So now you know you have Amazon Music.
I have Amazon Music as a separate.
Free.
Really?
No, same thing. You pay separately?
There's an Amazon Music that's a separate service.
Oh, no, I got it through my Prime, though.
Okay. Maybe we do too. I don't know. It's on Allison's account. So.
It used to, maybe they've changed it, but it used to be, because here's what Bezos says. Bezos says, I think I can make a couple of bucks if I make all these podcasts for free, and then I'll get them more into the Amazon thing.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying.
Right. Get them to the site.
What's that?
Get them to the site. They'll need batteries.
Oh. So I was listening, so that means I got podcasts for free. But what was my point? Jesus Christ. Fuck. It's not even a matter of can you find it for me. It's a matter of should we make a call? Should we be preparing? Should I have long-term health insurance? That's what we should be talking about.
From the Podcast Guild?
I just thought of the saddest life in the world where podcast. I'm not a comedian, but I am a podcaster. And they do a GoFundMe for me when when I can't pay my bills. I'm not an actor in this scenario.
Right.
I don't have any insurance.
Right.
But I've had an injury. I was on the way to a podcast convention, maybe.
Sure. I don't know that the injury has to be podcast related.
It's so stupid. It's like the stupidest man thinking about what he would do if he needed help.
Right.
He's the world's stupidest man. I realized now
I thought you already did that by opening a Cameo account.
Well, I still have a lot of guilt about the Cameo account. I just want to say, here's what I thought about the Cameo accounts.
Yeah.
After thinking about it for 2 years.
Yeah.
I probably won't ever recommend somebody for anything again. But that's probably bad because I shouldn't. I'm taking too much. What's the word? Too much significance from the events. Too much significance from it. The truth is, no matter what, I liked the person who I was dealing with at the Cameo.
Yeah.
And she was really nice. She was the first person. Nobody else has been that way at all. They're all like, but she was like really sweet to me and she was helpful to me. So when I said, I don't have a problem with recommending somebody under what that thing was. You get 5% or whatever the thing is for the first year. But the point is that I wouldn't do that again because the real truth is I don't want to recommend anybody for anything. And it's comes from the part of me that thinks that the person's nice to me. And so therefore I should then open up, if they want, not that I'll give them Patton Oswalt's home number, but that's the thing.
Right.
Okay. So that to me is growth because I can say, you wouldn't look at this because maybe this isn't your problem, but you probably wouldn't go and go, I'm defective. I'm forever defective from that event because absolutely it was the worst thing to do. You were a fucking idiot. and the person you did it to probably hates your guts, and they're probably laughing about you right now at the comedy convention. You know what Andy Kindler did? He fucking tried to weasel me into a thing. Right?
Right.
So when you suffer from whatever it is you suffer from, it's still not. You can't look at the event and go, I did nothing wrong there, even though the truth is, I did nothing wrong.
Right.
like kill somebody, maim somebody,
Right.
steal from somebody. But then as you grow, you go, okay, that's what what Josh was reacting to was, it sounded a little cheesy to him.
Right.
It seemed a little cheesy. Both of those things can be true.
Well, let me just say that now I feel guilty for having planted that guilt hedge in your head.
Well, you didn't, though. You didn't. You just, I think you were well, first of all, if we go into an argument during the time period when we were more tense,
Yeah.
we just could have gotten into an argument.
Right.
And I could see myself going, well, I'm sorry. You said from the beginning you don't enjoy this kind of thing anyway. So you don't enjoy this kind of cameo thing.
Right.
Right? So it doesn't, it's like, and then you never said to me, if I catch you doing it.
No, but I did. I put mustard on my skepticism for comedy's sake. So.
Well, I appreciate any time you apologize to me because ones are going to happen, but not really. Because that was a learning experience for me.
Just to be clear, I don't think I did apologize. I said I felt guilty.
It really is. The lesson really is that we're never going to be completely that far from those kind of personalities as people, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's always going to be. I think if you look back, I said this, which those commercials are funny now. I realize they work funny with the.
Well, we come from different. We have way different relationships with our internal voices.
Aha! Right.
Yours is an asshole. Mine is hilarious.
No, my internal voice is like...
My internal voice comes up with all sorts of shit that I shouldn't say and usually don't. But it's hilarious. And your voice is just going, you're bad, you're bad, you're bad.
My voice is going like this. Yeah, Josh, I have some ice cream melting. Oh, you do you? That's why you can't talk any longer? He fucking saw right through my ruse. My shortening the conversation. I gotta go, I got ice cream. No, in my own defense, I did have ice cream.
No, I know. You were happy to have the excuse.
So I thought about you twice this weekend. Once, and I don't think I wrote it down. Once. Okay, the one thing I wrote was the guy who, the evil candy guy. I mean, the turkey in the straw guy. Was involved in a movie. They were shooting a movie or some kind of a scene from a movie right here in Sherman Oaks, right here on not Sherman Oaks. Where are we?
We're in Sherman Oaks.
Studio.
No, I think you've let the
cat out of the bag.
The oak out of the bag.
So, what was I saying?
The ice cream man drinking the straw.
Yes. So this all of a sudden we make fun of this guy. Meanwhile, this guy is cleaning it up. With his people, he knows that people are going to see him and go, "Ooh, isn't that a racist song? Doesn't that look like a horrible truck?" That's not what he's doing. He's trying to get work in independent film.
Is that it?
No, but I was thinking
he's like it's not a racist song if it never gets to the chorus. And it never gets to the chorus. Oh, it never fucking gets to the chorus.
But they didn't use it in a movie that was like, they looked like a discombobulated woman. Like her hair was sticking out. She was running either towards the ice cream truck or, so in other words, it's not featured in a movie, like a kid's movie where look at this wonderful ice cream truck is coming down the street.
Right.
And a lovely interaction. It's some kind of frightening movie.
Some sort of ice cream dystopia going on.
But I realized that I would have been. My parents never told me don't talk to strangers. They never said anything like. I never got any of that stuff from them, and I would have been someone who was
the 50s.
Because I would have gone to his band. Because I even the other day I went, oh, here's Andy on the band. No, it was the candy was written so poorly that the C was separated from the A-N-D-Y. So I could see myself as a little boy. Paco, is that for me? Yes, it is. Come right in here so I can murder you. That could have easily happened to me.
Could have, but it happened less back in your day.
That's true. Did evil people all of a sudden wake up and there's a gold mine here with kidnapping people?
I think my belief is it's just the percentages.
Yes, that makes sense of a modern society, right?
Well, or of any society. If you go, there was only 100 million people back then.
Yeah.
So
right.
And even if there's a fixed percentage of psychos, that means that there was just half of them, or a third of what there is now, rather.
Well, here's the thing. Now, but I probably shouldn't talk about this because it indicates failing on my own part, and also I don't want to give people an idea for copycat crimes. But they used to have the Tylenol crimes, right?
Yeah, I mean they used to have. I mean they had it that one time,
right? But that changed the whole course of how things were available in supermarkets and everything,
or at least packaging.
Yeah. So I start thinking, what's to stop the guy who hates me who's delivering my DoorDash food from putting a little poison? The poison DoorDash guy.
It's just a little sticker. That's it. That's the only thing stopping him.
I know. But why do those things are still happening, right? Those things are. I'm going to send anthrax. I'm going to send anthrax.
I mean, if you want to know if you want to answer the question, you go.
I do.
Why isn't the DoorDash doing that? Well, because I have his name. DoorDash has his name. The computer watched the dot drive up to my house.
That's right. That's
so
true.
There is a safety.
No. But what's to stop that guy? No, he's a rogue guy. He started out as a great guy.
Sure.
He just wanted to deliver food to people.
I'm just saying he can't go on a spree. He could have he could do it. He could do it in a night.
He can't go on a spree.
But,
Well, the people who died from the Tylenol thing, and I just want to tell you, if you like true crime things, and I do enjoy them, and if you like, I hate to spoil alert you, but it is one of the most horrible ways to die is from Tylenol, not Tylenol poisoning,
cyanide,
but cyanide poisoning.
Yes,
and the person who did it knew that it was like a horrible way to die.
Yeah.
Now,
it is still the best way to avoid Nazi interrogation.
Oh, I will. That's all I would be thinking about if I was a Jew back then.
Chomp on the cyanide, yeah.
No, I would be thinking I wouldn't get the pill. I would never want to be too far from the pill.
Yeah.
And I'd never want to be separated from the pill. I would have not made a good Anne Frank, is what I'm saying.
No,
Andy Frank.
Yeah.
You never would have heard the story. Because the story would have been, why did that Jewish kid turn in his whole attic for a piece of cheese?
Well, I heard the bookcase sobbing, and I knew something was amiss.
It's the greatest German voice. Is the bookcase sobbing? We have ways of making the bookcase sob. Somebody has to do. Someone should be good at voices and do the voices of a show instead of me.
We should get someone. Maybe we'll get a Billy West in.
Yeah, we should hire people like Billy West. Now, Billy West, come on in and do what Andy does, but do it good. Like he does, bing, bang, bang, bang. So then Billy West will come in and go, and she would really take it to the next level, right?
Yeah, that would help me a lot.
And then I've been working on this all week. Can you hear it?
Is this you trying to do Donald Duck again?
Yeah. Show it to me. I just don't want to hurt. Hurts my throat. I don't want to do it. Hurts my throat.
It all happens in the mouth. The throat shouldn't be involved.
Is that why my singing sounds the way it does?
Yeah.
Diaphragmatic breathing. Don't make fun of my singing. Make fun of anything else, but don't make fun of his singing, or he'll get
I sent
really
you
hurt.
a karaoke track.
Okay. I have something very embarrassing to tell you.
Yeah.
Which I thought I should tell you. This is the truth. Okay.
All right.
I didn't know that that's what it was. I thought that I would be able to sing to Landslide on Apple Sings and then play around and record it in the moment so I could hear how I would sing here with the Fleetwood Mac backing. But that's not what it does. I'd have to take another device somehow and record it. They don't want you recording it.
Right. But you could,
So when
but you easily could record if you were to output. It would take some cables.
It would take some cable, and that would defeat the purpose of. Well, I just want to hear how I sound singing "Landslide," right? That's it's not because I'm going to go this week on Andy Kindler's Twitter feed. Andy Kindler sings "Landslide."
Right.
That's mawkish. That's more mawkish, right?
But you could use if you had like a digital 8-track recorder or something. You know, that would be a way. That would be a way to record your voice singing.
But I just think it's sad that that's what I thought it was the thing that I wanted it to be. Why would it be that? All that you can do, first of all, I haven't got into work, so forget it. But you're able to adjust your voice to the person's voice. You know, not the one you sent me, which is just karaoke.
Yeah, well.
And I don't even think.
But that's what you wanted was a karaoke track.
No, that's what you thought I wanted. I wanted a thing where I could check how the progress of me singing all the world over, so easy to see, people everywhere. It's got to be free. I want to see, is it ready to go? Am I professional with the Young Rascals backing?
So you wanted to sing along with the original?
No, it's like, how good do I sound?
Oh, well, there is no meter for that, Andy.
That's true. I know that you're saying it as an insult.
No, I'm just saying there's no meter for how good is it. There is not a piece of equipment that will read how good is it.
No. If you heard yourself singing with your voice perfectly mixed instead of Stevie Nicks, that you would get some kind of insight into your own thing. But
that's what I'm saying. You can do with a karaoke track.
I could do it with the karaoke, but then I'm just doing karaoke where I'm trying to learn.
But that's all you're doing anyway. You're just trying to put a different scientific spin on it. All you're doing is karaoke.
But the thing that I love about it is I don't even think that track is is Lindsey Buckingham.
It's not. It's not. It's somebody. It's a karaoke artist who put together the track.
And not only that, but it's they do a lot of repeat the measures, right?
I don't know.
It's easy for
I didn't
them to
listen
repeat.
to it. I just found it and sent it.
No, but I mean, like if the beat is like if it's that rhythm guitar beat, they don't have to even play it for an hour and a half. They just repeat it.
Probably.
But it just sounds wrong. It doesn't sound like the Fleetwood Mac bands behind.
Well, no, it doesn't.
Is that true of every karaoke room in the world? You never have because of copyright things, you never singing to the actual thing?
Yeah, it's never, ever. I mean, there are varying qualities of backup tracks, but it's not ever the original track.
So somebody did all of the Beatles songs?
Yes.
I don't want that gig. I'm glad I'm not a studio musician.
So's the studio.
Oh, Josh, why would you do that? But that was very nice of you to send that track. And then I had one other thing that I wanted to tell you it wasn't about the ramshackle house. Can you see that house from the satellite? I think you could see it, right? If you were,
I didn't dive in.
Susan's good with those things. She goes, "Hey, look at this." I go, "What are you looking at? A satellite?" I don't know what that means. I know what it means.
You can look at it from above, and you can look at it from the street view on Google. But I did neither.
Well, someone pointed out last week that I'm playing the dumb guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
And I've been thinking that all weekend, and it's like, I don't know what it means. 2, 3. Maybe we should I would like to play that instead of never gonna beat you up, never gonna boo boo. I would play 2, 3. Because I cannot believe that song.
You want to get La Mancha rolled?
That's a terrible version of a terrible song, right? The Impossible Dream might be the worst song ever written. No, I loved it when I was 8.
I don't think it is the worst song ever written by a long shot.
It's bad, though, right?
It's not a great song, but I think it's still not in the,
But the message is wrong. The message is like, even to dream, when the Nazis are outside your house, you just dream, and they'll magically go away. To dream that there's no evil in the world. To dream the impossible. Isn't it Impossible Dream?
What musical do you think it's from?
La Mancha?
Man of La Mancha, yeah.
Which sounds like a horrible fake thing. It's not even a thing.
It's Don Quixote.
I don't know what that is.
All right.
I've heard these names. Don Quixote, you might as well say Genghis Khan to me when you say Don Quixote.
All right, Mr.
Is Don Quixote real?
Those people at Binghamton really hand out those English degrees real willy-nilly, don't they?
It's not English literature. I don't think it's not English. Is it?
It's commonly known as the first novel.
All right. Well, all right. Is it coming as an audiobook? Ba-ba-ba-ba-dum-bum. Jews to dream. Okay, I get you. But did you see Man of Macho all the way through? No,
I didn't.
And is it about? It's not a real story, Don Quixote, is it?
It is not.
Okay, is he like Don Juan?
Well, in the sense that he's a fictional character.
And the world's dumbest
in Spanish.
The world's dumbest guy is back.
Yeah.
No, but there's certain things like that you're interested in. When you were a kid, you were interested in. I never was interested in, maybe for 5 minutes, the Knights of the Round Table, and it was the wrong generation. I got tired of the Cowboys and stuff by the time I was 7. Why do I have to see Haas? Yeah. Why does everybody have to be named Haas?
That was all gone by the time I came around.
Yeah, what a terrible time period. The golden age of horrible serial shows that featured horses.
I had more like Steve Austin, the $6 Million Man.
What do you think about the fact that every show is now being Quantum Leap? All they do is remake the shows that were from before.
That's all they do.
That's the $6 Million Man 2. No, but it seems like there's more now than ever. More now than ever than there have been. Just copycats.
Yeah.
Copycat shows.
Right.
Like, who watched the original Quantum Leap? Who would care that it was called Quantum Leap? Why couldn't you just base it on something new, is my question. You watched the old Quantum Leap, right?
I did not. I saw it, but I never watched it, really.
You know what I'm just saying? I think there's a lack of originality in the development space.
I think there is, but we've talked about this, and I also think it's not the creatives with the problem. It's the executives with fear of taking a chance.
Okay, but let me. I'm just saying. Do you agree with the law that that would just be simply if you tried to remake like The Heartbreak Kid, you get shocked or something, or you would
absolutely, yeah. If it was a law, for sure, I would.
Because that's where it's like.
Because I'm not defending reboots.
No, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
I'm quite anti-reboot, in fact. But
right.
But you see how it happens because people are fearful.
Yes, but if I was Ben Stiller, and I almost was, I would say that's one of the best movies ever made. I'm not going to remake that movie. Why would I remake that movie? It's not based on the plot was so great.
Right. But
it was great.
I mean, here's both sides Weinstein going, I can find an argument.
Right.
Which is, that's great, but it was made in 1968 and kids aren't going to see it.
Right. Yes.
Which of course is bullshit from an artistic, creative standpoint. But from a commercial standpoint, you go, this was a great idea, a great movie that people should like. They're not gonna, so I'm going to make it and make them like it my way.
Yes. But it's like when they made Get Smart. I just, like, the original show was so based on that time period. And
yeah, it was a ridiculous, and that's the thing. When you take something that A is a brand that is a full 2 generations old.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Like Get Smart is a boomer thing. It's not even a Gen X thing. And, Gen Xers are 50 now,
Right.
50 plus.
Yeah, easy.
So like, and that the target audience is always going to be in the young end of the spectrum.
Right.
What are you trying to get them to latch onto there?
I like that. I wish you could get in a room with some of these people. No. I'm just asking you. What? I'm just asking you.
Is the hope that grandparents will like tell their grandkids to go, I loved it as when I was a kid. I can only imagine how much you'll love it.
Well, that's the thing too. It's like sometimes I look at these old shows and I say, well, okay, they went for it, the talking car. But then the other thing was like, I just feel like I would be one of the people going, this is a funny idea for 1 minute. It's like, my name is Earl. It's a funny idea for 1 minute that a horse talks.
Right.
And maybe not even be funny for a minute. Oh, Wilbur.
Right.
But we kind of we like that song even. That song is a pretty good song for a bad show.
Which?
She's 1948 Porter.
Okay.
That's my mother, dear.
Sure.
How long did it run?
A horse is a
Probably
horse.
Was a
horse
hit.
Is a horse, of course, is a perfectly good jingle, too. And
A horse is of course. Bing, ba bang.
But, you look at it, you also go, all right, you hear the jingle. You love a horse is a horse. You're in. Now, now it's like 3 minutes in. And you go, oh, fuck, I'm watching the Talking Horse show. There's 2 other options for you.
What are the 2 other options?
I don't know. ABC and NBC. Those are your 2 other options. So it's very possible that if you check 3 minutes late on the other channels, there's nothing that's like going, oh, this is better.
I'm very embarrassed to say that I just mixed up in my mind My Mother the Car and Mr. Ed.
I know that you were conflating them into one show, but it's the same. It's the same show, really.
I can't remember what the voice was like on My Mother the Car though. You're like, get out of here! You're gonna cause yourself. You're gonna freeze to death if you don't bring a jacket.
I honestly,
was that what it was?
I don't remember. I don't. I know what. Oh, Wilbur.
So now, can we say Mr. Ed was a better show? I guess on some level.
I think it was a better show in the sense that it's, it was beloved by some, whereas My Mother the Car, I think, has always been basically a punchline.
I loved My Mother my Father my Favorite Martian. I loved that show.
Did you?
For about 6 months.
Yeah.
And I could never watch it again.
Yeah.
Not a show that holds up. Although Ray Walston does hold up.
Right.
His role in, can you tell I'm starting to fade?
A little bit.
I'll tell you who does stand up though. Ray Walston in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. These people are delight, Josh. Old Hollywood. I'm still entertaining you a little bit, right?
A little bit. And now it's over. Well, now it's time to take a break from 2 old talking Jews. But we will be back to try to make you laugh in hour number 2.
Hey, you know what's better this week?
Everything?
No, you know what's better though, right?
What's that? What?
Remember?
Oh, that you plugged in your mic?
Yes.
Yes.
You didn't even have to remind me.
That's fantastic.
It really is a way of me saying, hello, world, I'm back.
I'm prepared for you.
The nice thing about it is that when I learned this, my therapist said, why don't you make a to-do list?
Yeah.
And I made the to-do list, and then I remembered a couple of items, and I was like, where was this my whole life?
The couple items, you mean?
Oh, that's how he does it. He takes something you say, then he takes it in and he turns it around, and he just looks like Greg Ray said to me, when I do anything, I take a laugh and I just twist it. I just twist it a little bit. That's what I do. I hope you're not listening to this, Greg Ray.
I hope Greg Ray's alive, is what I hope.
Yeah, why am I don't have any, I told you the classic Greg Ray things, right? I did one time, I said I did material. He was helping me along as a new guy, right? Which was the biggest mistake in my life.
He was kind to me as a new guy as well.
Very sweet, but he was like, I'm going to take you under my wing.
Right.
So one of the first cardinal rules I made was I did time after him. I did time after him, the headliner, right?
Yeah, it's a mistake.
It's a mistake. Right?
Yeah.
So, you're not supposed to do time after me. That was fine. But then he started to help me, set by set. Yeah,
right.
Try it this way, try it that way. So then I came back. I came back and go, wow, I felt good. He goes, you think it felt good? Really? One of those things.
Oh, jeez.
Really? But I used to like when he would say, it's getting late and I've got to go. I mean, a lot of times people will, try to spur applause or something.
Right.
That's very natural.
He had
folks,
he had like a Southern mob boss thing that he tried to put on.
And then he would do this. He would do this at the beginning of every show, which I would get tired of this, but it was good while he did it. He would pretend to be a fly, like is it a fly, a moth? It could be a moth to the light.
Yeah,
you've been a lot of classic moth to the light bits.
Sure, but his was the best.
His was the best. And then his other thing was
the sad thing is I think like our listeners can't even look up Greg Ray.
Well, no, I'm not snickering. It sounds like I'm snickering, but I'm actually snickering at the idea that there are so many people who were headliners and who had like decent careers. And there are many people in that category, in the Greg Ray category, who I can't even remember their names.
Yes, we called them road acts.
But he didn't call himself a road act. I don't think he did at all.
No, I think he aspired to escape road actum.
Oh yeah, and
but there's still bills to pay.
Oh, I almost sneezed, but then... Oh man,
you almost sneezed, but instead you got such a story.
You know what? It's not about the times that you didn't sneeze.
It's those commercials that get me.
Ow! Ow! It's not TV, but it's the commercials that get me. Ow! Not TV. I wish I could sing like this. Okay, I'd like to do a couple of songs. This is for my first album called Tell That Damn Dog to Shut the Fuck Up.
Wow, he killed himself. He absolutely slayed himself.
Tell that damn dog to shut the fuck up. Oh, God, I'm so funny. There's so many funny things about me. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Not funny, ha-ha.
And hopefully we'll be able to showcase some of these in upcoming episodes.
Look, I am so tired of you calling me up on Friday and going, oh, you happy now, fucker? Or was it Saturday? I don't know, whatever the bit has to be.
Yeah.
It's Saturday?
Is that what I'm editing?
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Please excuse me.
All right.
Why do I have to have a fakakta stuffed nose now? That's the last thing I need.
It adds to your comedy character.
It is, because a lot of people write to me, because I have people write to me about the show. I have a separate address.
Sure.
Kindler fans at thoughtspiral.schmoopy.
Uh-huh.
And they ask me questions. I answer their questions in a separate format.
Sure.
I
would have bought the whole thing without .schmoopy. Everything else lined up.
Well, I know, but you know what? A lot of people, that's why I'm not a good improv actor. I don't believe that I'm a Martian who can only speak in consonants and eats gravy. Right? I don't believe that.
Know. I think that's just a bad actor in general.
Wait, are you saying I'm a bad actor in general?
Yeah. Because you don't believe you're those things.
No, that's different. When I do the method, when I get in the method,
sure,
you don't want to get near me when I get to the method.
Right.
Because I'll be like this. Oh, God, I can't even do the lines today because I'm so emotional.
The problem is you're doing the method of modern love.
That went right past me, right above my... Is it Modern Love? Don't rewind me, Modern Love. What is it?
METHODOFLOVE. Hollow Notes.
I don't know what that song is.
Hollow Notes.
Oh, my God, that's terrible.
Forget it,
that's
Jake.
Terrible.
Forget it, Jake. It's Hollow Notes Town.
I can get Susan immediately upset by trying to pump up Hollow Notes. Come on, didn't you like... Sarah, ooh, I want to talk it out with you. Is that not them?
It is. Sarah Sma, yeah.
I want to talk it out with you. Sarah.
I think Rich Girl's a good song.
I'm on your side. I like a couple of their songs.
There's a handful even, I'd say.
But
and then there's just some abusive Drek songs.
Yeah, well, which is the one? What's this one? What's that one?
I'm a Jew. Okay.
Jew. What is this car commercial that goes, ha ha, ha ha, Ha ha ha. Ha ha. Come on, you know what I mean.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. You see a rocket should head up in the clouds and the sun. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's a countdown. I realized as I learned it. 10.
And is it a car commercial?
It's a car commercial. I believe it's a Cadillac commercial.
How is it counting down?
Just listen to the song next time.
Okay, go ahead.
You'll hear the count. No, not from me. Listen to the commercial.
Ha, ha. It goes 8 and 8 and 8 is leading to 7 to 7 to 7 to 7 to 6.
Yeah, kind of. Except
That's how Sandler got started.
yeah.
Let me see. I'd like to sing, but I don't really want to sing on my own voice. And I'm not really comfortable with my own personality, as you can tell from my stand-up.
All right.
But let me see if I can, I think, sure, and I'm a little boy, how are you? Oh, it's just perfect. Write 17 movies with this premise. That's right, you fucking just got served.
You've been Kindlered, Sandler.
You know, I've been watching a lot of, where'd you go? Josh. I've been watching a lot of wrestling documentaries.
Okay, yeah.
I don't like wrestling.
No.
I mean, I like.
Well, you love wrestling documentaries.
Well, here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
I want to be more open-minded to the fact that there are a lot of things I didn't like when I was younger that probably, like roller derby bothered me sometimes.
Right.
And when the girls would roller derby.
Sure.
And they would punch each other in the face. It just was confusing to me.
Yeah.
And sexy.
Roller derby has just that gratuitous violence to it. It doesn't feel like the violence is a side effect of the sport. It feels like this violence is the reason for the sport.
Well, first of all, you're on skates. So right away,
sure,
you can really up the, let's do that move where we one arm them as they're on the skates. I'll put my arm out like that, and I'll clothesline them.
Right.
That would be great. I'll go under your legs.
I just saw Raquel Welch on Dick Cavett talking about her Casey Bomber movie, which was a roller derby movie that she started.
This is unbelievable that I'm older than you, have no knowledge of any of these things. Raquel Welch was in a professional wrestling movie?
No, a roller derby movie.
A roller derby movie?
Yes. And
was Mark Maron also in this one?
No.
I'm such a funny guy.
These are 50 years apart. It was like Raquel Welch, Lester Maddox, and James Earl Jones.
Oh, the TV show.
1971. But the best one was Satchel Paige, Lillian Gish, and Salvador Dali with an anteater.
What are you talking about, Dick Cavett?
Yes.
Well, how does he arrange these nights?
I don't know, but
is he just talking to them, or they're all doing their stuff?
Well, what stuff would that be?
You had one thing that was like
Satchel Paige. Was he pitching?
No. There was one thing I thought was like a guy eating a bug. No, it wasn't Satchel Paige.
What the fuck?
Hey, remember?
I said Salvador Dali with an anteater. I think anteater is where you had.
That's what it was. Yes.
Where you had somebody eating a bug. Yeah.
I saw Salvador Dali's face, and then this guy doing an anteater bit.
Yeah.
Wait, is he an anteater, or is an anteater an animal? You're telling me?
It's yes.
It's an animal
and a mineral. Yes.
What do they look like? Do they have big snouts?
They have long snouts, and they talk like Jackie Mason.
See?
I'm gonna get that ant. I'm gonna get that ant.
And why do they? Do they really eat ants?
Yes, they do. They have.
Wow.
They have They have very long tongues that will snake into an anthill.
What a vicious predator they are! How brave you are! I could kill an anthill. I used to kill. I told you this. I used to kill the big, and then there was nothing symbolic about my life, but I would spend hours defending the little ants against the big ants.
Huh.
Maybe it wasn't hours, Josh.
This is a typical thing. I'm trying to describe a great show, and you're going, I killed ants. Because you heard the word ant.
Wait, now hold on a second now. I don't understand. Are you saying that they do this like who's the guy who's leaving? He sings in the car with people. See, he sings in the car with people.
Corden?
Yeah, Corton. James Corton.
Okay, you add your tea and have fun.
He brings all the guests out at once. Is that what Dick Cavett was doing?
Well, no, they eventually ended up out there.
Is it?
Although Raquel Welch didn't wait around for Lester Maddox to show up. She left. And then Lester Maddox didn't wait around for James Earl Jones to show up, not surprisingly. So.
Can you believe that this was before that Dick Cavett?
This was after the famous one where he walked off Dick Cavett.
And before Randy Newman wrote the song.
That was the episode in which he was referring, yes.
Okay, don't get me started with that.
Lester Maddox on a TV show with some smart-ass New York Jew. And the audience the Jew laughed at Lester Maddox. The audience laughed at Lester Maddox, too.
Well, we're not going too far into this.
But he's awful.
We're not going too far into this.
Think they're better than him, they're wrong.
Are you going to do an ironic version of this song now?
So I went to the park, took some paper along.
And that's where I wrote this song. Kindler and Weinstein, who for years championed anti-racist material, all of a sudden they lost their minds and they just said, this is a song. It's a song that was popular by Randy Newman. We're the bad guys.
Yes, I won't be singing it up till the chorus, but I still defend his right to.
Oh, well, don't you ever in any way, shape, or form think I would ever not love
whatever
Randy
Ron
Newman.
DeSantis.
You know, Ron DeSantis, he has this thing where he has like I'm telling you, it's like a guy, because something's happening with his forebrain.
Yeah.
Isn't this where right behind the frontal lobe, if you have problems in this area, right?
Sure.
It's like you're like, oh,
it's the T-zone, I believe.
Yeah, and look at him. Look at his big old forehead. I'm getting worried now, Josh.
Yeah.
It's one more year till the election.
It's true.
Do you think Trump's going to win?
I don't make predictions anymore on these things.
I know, but you know what? I want this time.
I really don't think that Trump could possibly win. But
no, but 10 years from now.
I'm not going on the record with that.
Right. And 10 years from now, how many years will we have been on the air in 10 years?
10
years from now.
16 years. It'll be our 16th year.
Yeah.
God bless us.
God bless us. And I think that it'll be good to see us become more clairvoyant and less. Okay, that's it. Sorry.
You traveled as clairvoyant once, didn't you?
I actually got my nails done at Clairvoyance.
I knew you were going to say that.
Nails by Claire? I got the book on they were selling the book on procrastination. They said, come back tomorrow. No, they wouldn't say come back tomorrow. I would come back tomorrow.
They say pre-order today.
And I said, I have premature ejaculation problems. And
they said, grow up.
And I was watching. Oh, I forgot the joke. Thanks a lot, fuckface.
Well, I've worked my way up to mature ejaculation, so.
Why do I feel like both of us could be second-rate Grouchos if everything else doesn't work out?
We could be Ritz brothers.
Those poor Ritz brothers. Oh, how I mock them. The Ritz brothers and their two white guys on what was their hit? Putting on the Ritz?
Good night, everybody. Let's go to questions.
All right. Questions are part of my life. I have a new song I'm pitching. You ready?
Oh, yeah.
Questions are part of our show. People, they just gotta know what Andy and Josh are thinking about.
Oh, damn it. I could have used that until the cough. We almost had ourselves a new theme. It's time for questions. What do you want to know? We love your questions so much. It's half our show. Half our show.
I felt pressure is why I started coughing. I messed up myself. Pickle says Carol Burnett is a legend and huge talent. Never hosted SNL, perhaps because of Lauren's aversion to the breaking that she encouraged. She did not encourage the breaking, but I'll go back to that. No. She was anti-breaking. Meanwhile, Lauren rocks Jimmy Fallon to sleep every night. Ooh, Pickles has turned into like like me, kind of.
He's trying to poke the bear, I think, with a little bit.
Well, that's wrong about. She did not like when Harvey Korman. I mean, she didn't hate it, but she didn't encourage it.
Right.
So that part is wrong, Pickles.
I don't know if. I don't think I don't know. I have doubts that she longs to host Saturday Night Live.
Right, and they yeah, but well, we don't know because she's creating a whole scenario that doesn't seem like it happened. Remember, and then Lauren said, "I don't like that kind of thing."
Right.
Come on,
Pickles.
Come on, try and sell that. Oh, from 12/9/22. No wonder.
Right. I could smell the oldness when I cracked it open. Jason from your audio device of choice, Parton, says, I told you I'd be back. Major seventh chords. Love them? Hate them? Would America and other such bands have had a career without them?
I love major seventh chords.
Yeah.
I like them more like the Grateful Dead do it in Eyes of the World. Bling, 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 bling. I love it. I can't get enough. If I was depressed, I could sit and play a major seventh chord and it would make me feel good.
Yeah, good. There you go. You love a major seventh chord.
I don't know if I've said to you this previously, Josh. There's not a lot of things I have clarity about. But major seventh chords, I'm in.
I believe there's no bad chords, only bad people.
Perush is back. Perush the fire. I can't believe he's back, and it makes me wonder.
He's back in force, and
I know.
And, you know what I found out is he wrote us a letter yesterday, and I don't know if he wanted the whole like a red letter, but I will say that he had a baby.
This is so great.
There's a little Perush now, and he hadn't been listening for a while. Now he's back, and he's happy to be back.
Is he back because he feels guilty that he missed the show?
No, I think he feels he feels like he's happy to have it back as part of his life, but he was a little busy, bringing having
a baby,
a life into the world. Yes.
Congratulations to you, Perush.
Now he needs a little life sucked out of his world, and he's back.
Right. And when it says show this thread? Is that what I'm supposed to do? No. Perush, parenthesed. Stockpiled. He parenthesized. Does that mean he's stockpiling these? Yes. Does Josh own a Round Rock Express minor league cap? I can send one. I live 5 minutes from the Dell Diamond. I can also send the cap for Austin Cricket Association, which I am a proud member and player in. Cheerio. And then he adds, also the mascot of the Round Rock Express is called Spike.
Wow. I kind of want a Round Rock Express hat now.
Does he play cricket? I didn't know anybody. I literally don't know anybody who plays cricket.
If they do a fitted hat, it's a 7 3/4, my friend. Yeah,
that's a hard sport.
It is a hard sport to understand. It looks like
because there's no
super
rules.
Fucking easy to play once you get it.
Is that true?
No.
I don't get it.
I'm just
I don't get it at all.
I'm trying to get all up in his wicket.
No, because because this thing is like I saw there's a good documentary series called Bad Sport about cheating that happened in sport. And one of them was a guy from South Africa. He kind of like cheated playing cricket.
Huh.
Well, I can't tell a story. Maybe that's the thing.
Yeah, but you don't understand enough to know how one cheats at cricket.
They negotiate these backroom deals for who the referee is going to be.
Okay.
And all that stuff.
So it's a fix more than a
It's not. Yeah, well, they claim it's not fixed. And then the people do it claim everyone does it. We all do it. Say we don't want this referee.
Sure. Jason from your audio device of choice. Parton is back already. Does a song get to go on the radio because it's good, or does a song become good because it's been on the radio? I think a little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
I think every song with repetition gets a little more likable for the most part.
Yes, but then that's that. You can't go to that well too long.
Yeah, no. There's some songs that you can hate if you hear them too often.
You don't want to. You don't want to go. You don't want to be like. I like a hook. You don't want to be that guy. I like a nice hook.
But I think it also depends on if you already have. I think there's a lot of bias. There's a lot of inherent bias in listening to music.
That's true. That's true. And also, just in terms of you do like what you've heard before, it's a very complex equation.
I don't feel any sincerity to what you just said.
I know, that's why I'm going on.
You were talking to talk, just talking to talk. Once again,
Dan Marsh, that's absolutely wrong, Chris. Dan Marsh says, "Hey, I'm doing this. I'm also servicing the question as well. Hey guys, now Dan Marsh says, hey guys, now that Andy has mastered recording a cameo while he walks around town, when will we get a remote thought spiral segment? What does this even mean? That you call me while I'm walking around?
No, I think it's more like dum diddle dum diddle dum diddle dum diddle Andy Kindler's Wilderness Diary.
I'm over it. This is amazing.
Do you remember that? Do you remember Andy Kindler's Wilderness Diary from when you were on when you were out at the
yes,
spa?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes. It's in Utah.
Let me just say, I welcome any pre-recorded editions that Andy wants to put in the show.
Oh, that's right. It makes me feel bad now. Stupid. Okay. I'm going to send you every day, too. What do you think of this 5 minutes?
I'll make a best of.
What do you think about this 5 minutes? I was just over Van Nuys, so I thought it would be funny. I'm looking at the LA River, and I'm saying, this is a river, more like a stream. Can you put that in the show? Josh, did you decide to put it in the show? How come Josh's number doesn't work? BD West says, I tuned into the Super Bowl at precisely 3:32 and still had to endure nearly 12 minutes of pregame coverage. My thoughts and prayers go out to everyone who suffered through more. The pregame coverage really is terrible. It's just, I don't know. I mean, we're not breaking we're not breaking a secret out here.
Right.
But how many times? What can you come up with? They go, our new segment: 2 offensive linemen talk to each other. That's what they have with one.
Right.
On CBS, I think. It's just 2 offensive linemen.
We call it the meat locker.
And they're like, "Is anything crazy ever happened to you?" Yes. There's one time I tried to block a guy, and I put my arms just like you would with the electric football. And the guy said to me, "Well, we're not playing electric football, fuckface." And then it was just stuff like that. I can't remember them all.
Stephen L. Yates says, Andy, I'm not joking about being Greek Orthodox or that I lead premarital seminars. It's a PowerPoint created by a marriage therapist. I had a few stories from my 36 years of marriage. All true. See photos of the couples and my wife with me and the Archbishop. Sure enough. He's really carrying this joke pretty far now, don't you think?
He's not carrying the joke, right? It's a real thing.
Yes.
It's a real thing, but what is it? What is he? Let me ask you a question, Stephen Elton Yates. What? It's a PowerPoint created by a marriage therapist. So you're stealing another guy's pitch.
No, he's a deputy marriage therapist. He's like Gallagher 2 of marriage therapy.
I just can't believe this. This is so great, Stephen. It's so great. And yet, I don't know if you're no, I know you're not pulling my leg, but I still think there's something odd about this.
I think you've hypnotized him with the Archbishop's funny hat, Stephen.
Stephen Elton Yates is back to say, Perush. Yes, my real name is Elton.
Wow, Stephen has to come and just justify every aspect of his life.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And we give him so much screen time, or whatever you call it. Showtime. Seth Dick III.
Well, let's finish. He says, Perush, yes, my middle name is Elton. It was my father's and grandfather's first name.
That's so great. And I never knew that. I've known him. I want to like that one. I've known him for so many years. I don't know that about him. I know that he gets premarital. Hello, everyone. I assume you're all not married yet, correct?
If you are married, please leave.
I'm Stephen L. Yates. I don't know why you're here. I guess you have heard about the wonderful speeches I give on premarital sex. No, that's not what it is it?
Well, I'm sure. I hope he touches on it slightly.
Stop saying touches. The Real Housewives will never let a thing that could be perceived as a penis metaphor go. They won't.
No entendre goes undoubled.
Yeah. That's a really big. That's a really big peach. You know
I'd like a big peach up my ass. Oh wait, I went single entendre again.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, one night only, single entendre.
Wanna fuck, if you know what I mean?
What do you mean? I just want to fuck. Single entendre, right after Exposition Boulevard. Are you telling me that your mother, who you knew had cancer 7 years ago, is coming to town tonight and she's upset about the deal you made to buy the Native American reservation this week on Exhibition Boulevard?
Exposition. That was you blew your own joke.
Exposition.
Yes.
What did I say?
You said exhibition.
I know this joke too. I've done it many
It
times.
felt like you were on script until the end there.
Exposition Boulevard. That just shows how.
Do you want me to cut it together or should I leave it?
I think you should do whatever you like. Seth Dick III says Kindler 24.
Yeah.
That's very funny. Oh, it's nothing funnier than to have. I took this as she saying, as Seth Dick III saying, I look like Dianne Feinstein, but that's not what she was saying.
Not what
Feinstein?
Feinstein.
No, you're saying
Don't make me correct
me.
her name too, please, for God's sakes.
Who are you? Do you have any people?
What Seth Dick is saying is that Dianne Feinstein is retiring. Kindler 24.
It's time.
Yeah,
it's time for me.
You should run for the seat. Is his implication? Yes. As long as you're.
Who are you? Are you leaning towards anybody in that race? Because I kind of like that Katie Porter, but I don't know. It's like, do you like? I like Schiff.
Katie
but I don't
Porter
think...
and Adam Schiff. You're tearing me apart.
It's a tough race.
Yes,
is all I'm saying.
Yes.
Oh God damn it! I did that thing I hate when I do it. How do you do it if you cycle out of the thing? I mean, I can't. I don't know where we are.
I'm scrolling through my index of things you do that are really annoying and trying to figure out which one this is. Johnny Whoops,
well,
while you catch up.
I'll get back there. Right. I'll get back there.
Johnny Whoops says, pitchers and catchers report now, which reminds me that Andy hadn't mentioned the new but old Mets pitcher's friend in a few weeks, or Josh has edited it out.
Are you talking about Jerry Arrigo? Is this another Jerry Arrigo thing?
No, it's the Mets pitcher who's married to what's-her-face.
Oh, Justin Verlander and his beautiful wife, Kate Bush.
Upton?
Kate Middleton. There's something delightful. I see myself at the home, enjoying myself by mixing up names. Like, it's delightful to me.
It's hilarious.
Is it Brooke Shields? More like Brooke. All right. Dan Marsh says, what's your favorite thing that you saw or experienced in a dream? I once, in a dream, had sex with Bridget Bardot. Was she the one who went right wing? I had sex with Raquel Welch in a dream. And afterwards, she said to me, you are the greatest sexual partner I've ever had.
Thank you, Raquel.
Oh, nobody's going to want a soft penis by the time you're done with the impression.
I always like it when dead people show up in my dreams.
Oh, like Lincoln?
No, like my parents.
Oh, that's nice. I don't remember my dreams hardly ever. Do you remember them every night?
I remember them very infrequently.
Is there any dreams where like you're doing great and I'm bombing?
No, sleep is my respite from that.
Ba-ba-bo, ba-ba-ba, pika-pika-ba-ba. How do you think they started? Do you think it was just one guy walking down the street and he said, I'll see you later, sa-sa-sa-sa-sa-sa, goodbye? Or did it start slower somehow? Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Put that over there.
It all goes back to vaudeville in my mind.
Oh, how about this one?
Think the rain will hurt the rhubarb? Not if it's in cans. What, the rain? No, the rhubarb. Ba-da-da-dee-ba-ba-ba-doop. Ugh.
And then this was my favorite where they go da 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 da. Oh, boing! Drop bells. What do they drop?
Anvil.
Bell bars, bar bells. Boop. CBS just canceled another show. I got that from Bill Murray talking on Bob Costas about when Milton Berle appeared on Saturday Night Live. And they sabotaged it. They just didn't listen to anything he said.
Yeah, they
wouldn't laugh at anything. CBS canceled another script. But you know what? I think there's a side of Bill Murray that's not the warmest person in the world. I would be scared.
I don't think Belushi was a big love bug back then.
Oh, yeah. Women aren't funny. Give me that samurai sword.
M. Ledsome says, love you guys. Thank you, M. We love you too.
Oh, M. You know what I'm worried about? That I may never see M again. I haven't left the house since the pandemic.
Right.
I don't see myself going to London soon.
Right.
So what are we going to do? I don't miss traveling, though.
Yeah.
Christopher Citro says, Andy, how cool would it be if you recorded little observations on your phone during your walks? Is this a joke or is it deja vu?
It's a deja vu with a different person.
Okay. Do you think they arranged
it's parallel development.
Andy, how cool would it be if you record observations on the phone during your walk, similar to the street photos you post? Extra editing for you, Josh, but it'd be like an urban version of
Dum diddle dum diddle dum diddle dum diddle Andy Kindler's Wilderness Diary.
You read this earlier. Read this earlier.
No, I remember. I'm the one who created the Andy Kindler's Wilderness Diary format. So
I never remember the name.
Well, you never listened to the show,
huh?
Exactly.
Apologies for the kibitzing. There's no apologies necessary, Christopher. You have brought a wonderful moment here, where you brought, for the first time in many years, you brought me and Josh together on something. We have not talked.
Just overwhelming insincerity today.
We haven't talked. We're like Abbott and Costello. So who's the one who didn't talk for years? We haven't talked off pod since 2018, right?
At least.
Yeah. And I'll call you up. But tell them what you say when I try to call you up to speak to you. Tell them what you say. Hi, Josh. Can I speak to you about
new
the
phone?
Show?
Who's this fuckface?
New phone. Who this? Tweet, to tweedle, tweet. Ooh wee, ooh, tweet. Bah. How about this? The horror. The tweet Bahara. Get it?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Every time you do it.
I never went the horror.
Yeah.
I have not done that.
I have. I will prove.
I would lie. I'll give you $1 million fake dollars.
All right.
He's Walker Robin. Tweet Bahara, dropper. He's such a horror. He's tweet Bahara. He's tweet Bahara for you.
I'm just so disappointed to hear that I may have repeated some material.
That's
not me. That's not me. Did I say it's not me? You know what I don't do?
I thought you were Bud Anderson up till now.
See, a lot of things you might say to yourself, that's the downside of being on the road. To me, those are the upside of being on the road. I could never reproduce someone saying, I have seasonal material. I can do an hour on spring. You could never replace that.
No. No, there's phrases I will have forever that I would not have had on the road. I learned to shit the bed on the road.
Oh, you never heard that before?
You guys did good. Dylan's kid was here last week. He shit the bed.
I didn't know you followed Dylan's kid.
We did into a theater in Northampton, Massachusetts.
Are they talking about the wallflowers were there? Is that what he's trying to say?
I think it was either the Wallflowers or some sort of Jacob Dylan other thing.
The wallflowers are very good.
But they shit the bed in Northampton.
K-Pants says, Andy and Josh, what's the last book you threw across the room and discussed unfinished?
You skipped out. You cheated Tweet Bahara by mocking his name and then never.
Oh, Tweet Bahara says, my Christian friend, tweet. My Christian friends told me that Jesus loves me, but I don't remember getting anything from him on Valentine's Day. Not even a card. See what I was trying to avoid, Josh? I did it on purpose.
I wasn't saying it was worth it.
You could have just let it go.
Let me say, Tweet, Jesus has friend-zoned you.
K-Pants says, Andy and Josh, what's the last book you threw across the room and discussed unfinished? For me, it was the insufferable Ready Player One. I don't know what that is, by Ernest Cline. P.S. I think the first was Atlas Shrugged. Everyone should throw a Rand at least once.
I agree with that.
What is that one? I never heard this Ready Player One. Is it like a video game?
It's like a sci-fi video game premise where I think they recruit. I think it's a lot like the last Starfighter premise where they recruit really good video game players and actually use their skills to fly war
solve
machines.
problems.
No, fly planes and fly spaceships kind of thing.
Oh, okay. Are you going to watch The Last of Us? Because I think it's supposed to be pretty good.
I'm probably not. I'm not. I know it's not a zombie show, but it's enough like a zombie show that I don't give a shit. And I totally agree. Everyone should throw Ayn Rand at something.
Yeah, you really did. You know what was a zombie show? The latter years of Arsenio.
Am I right?
Talk about The Walking Dead.
Things that make you go, am I right?
I did love when Howard Stern called him. He called him two things. Askissio and Asmuchio.
Yeah. Asmuchio is better.
Yeah, Askissio.
Headline skews right off the bat. You know, there's something that's like Greg Ray taking life and just twisting it. Just a little
Headline skews.
We take the headlines and just twist it a little bit.
Yes, look at it different.
As a casual comedy fan, I would like to ask two grizzled veterans, what is your definition of a hack? Someone unoriginal, silly, props, does too much crowd work? Or is it like SCOTUS definition of porn, you know when you see it? Well, there's a certain aspect of you know it when you see it. But I think unoriginal is the key factor.
Right, because you can't say props makes you a hack.
Right. There are great prop acts. There are hacky prop acts.
And they're hacky prop
Silliness can be an art.
Right.
Could you please get your wife to settle the fuck down?
He said settle the fuck down over there. Josh. She's fake crying. Actually, I think she's really crying.
Oh, shit.
She didn't know.
Oh, shit.
She didn't know that we would be drawing attention to it. Aww.
Tell her I'm sorry. Tell her I'm so sorry.
She's so sorry, honey. He's your little schmoopel-doople. She's going to kill me with that, whatever she's got in her hand. It's a knife. Josh, call the attorney. Tell him the money isn't safe deposit 55.
Fuckface in the morning, 65 degrees.
65 degrees downtown Los Angeles. Coming up in a half hour, we'll be giving away some arrows with tickets. Did we answer the question?
I think we did.
Okay. Well, okay, this guy's getting more popular now.
Yeah.
Walt Norder, because he's going to be coming back into the thing, this guy, into the case, I think, pretty soon.
Yeah.
Tim McCarver just died. I did not know that. You know, he has the exact same birthday, not the year, but he had the same birthday as me.
Yeah. That doesn't bode well.
Do you think Madonna knew who he was? I don't get this
I don't
question.
get that
do you?
either, no. But
Here's something.
but Tim McCarver was, as a catcher, called a great game.
Right. I wasn't
as a broadcaster, it was like listening to a gym teacher.
Yeah, he was like. Now the problem is that's not the way you talk.
I just love that you thought you had a Tim McCarver ready to go.
You know, when I used to watch him all the time, I did because he was so annoying.
Yeah.
He had like little things he would say. Madden got a little annoying towards the end too.
Yeah.
Boom with the bing and the boom.
Yeah.
But he's dead. Why would you
They're
make
both
fun
dead.
of him?
They're both dead.
Fuck him. Do the next question. I love when you do questions.
PJ says, as a child, I met Robin Williams at the county fair in Santa Rosa, California. His favorite joke was, and he said it's about a woman and a dolphin, but I was too young to know the punchline.
Oh, I know this one.
What do you think the punchline was?
If I needed the talcum powder, I'd never leave the house.
I thought it was he had a hat.
I don't know what that joke could be.
I don't either. Make
And,
up your mind, I got to adjust the chair. Paint my house.
You're ugly, right?
That's a Panacea.
That's a classic.
Sure.
You're ugly. John Dunbar says, I marvel at the consistently different and clever ways you phrase your solicitation for questions each week. Who writes them? Josh or Andy? Well, we both do it, right?
Yeah. If it's coming from the home store, it's me.
It's you.
If it's coming from the Andy account, it's generally Andy.
And you can tell it's coming from me because it's always going to be a version of, you have 7 hours to do this. Why don't you do it? Don't forget the hashtag. Yeah, I hate you. Do you have a question or comment? We hate you. Something like that.
Chaotic Neutral says, hey guys, the news this week got me thinking. Have either of you ridden in a hot air balloon? The Letterman segment would write itself. I never have. I totally would.
I did. The only hot air balloon I'm familiar with is in The Wizard of Oz.
So you didn't ride in it.
I would never. You can't.
That's the only hot air balloon you're familiar with? What the fuck does that even mean?
Can I ask you a question? They can't come. They don't know when they're coming down, right? Isn't that what the thing is?
No, you control the amount of hot air.
How do you control it?
With a big
air.
fucking burner.
Hey, hot air balloon. I'm surprised Dennis Miller's not up there.
The only hot air balloon I'm aware of, he says.
The only hot balloon air I'm aware of is a third Jew. Oh, we're at the end, and we don't have anything on Instagram. This is great. Thank you very much, Josh. Thank you for the listeners.
I feel like I'm being railroaded.
A third Jew. In the Sherman Oaks PI universe, if there were an East Coast counterpart of Sherman's, would that be Ron Concoma PI? And if so, what's New York Kindler's equivalent? What New York Kindler equivalent would play that hard scrabble, no nonsense private dick in the crossover episodes? Well, is Ron Concoma the name of a street?
Probably a suburb of some kind.
Right. So it'd be Canarsie. It would be Casino Boulevard.
No, who's playing Ron Concoma is what they're asking.
Oh.
Who's the East Coast version of Kindler for Ron Concoma is what he's asking. And it's just stumping the shit out of him.
Queens Plaza. Queens Plaza. Just going to keep saying names.
It would have been Gilbert. Let's say Gilbert Gottfried if he was alive, and move on.
Okay.
All right.
Good job. You really, there's a certain kind of sanity, saneness,
leadership. I like to think of it.
It's very good. Very impressed.
All right. Do you want to go to the gram?
Yeah, I can't look at the gram because
right.
it's too much.
I don't want you there. So
I did. I contributed this week. Did you see?
You said, "Hey, put something here."
Pretty good, right?
You said, "Follow his instructions, please." That's Andy Kindler at Andy Kindler Superstar, ladies and gentlemen.
It's not Andy Kindler. Yeah,
Andy Kindler Superstar is what it says.
That's right, exactly.
And you're standing by it, which is even funnier.
It's sarcastic name.
Oh, is it? PB Adams says, where is the Thought Spiral semi-nude beefcake calendar?
Ooh, I like the idea of it. Who would be? Would both of us be nude, or be more like me because I'm the eye candy?
I think I'm happy to have it just be you.
You admit that I'm the eye candy of the two.
I admit you're something.
I get a lot of letters. I get
What
panties
was that?
in the
I
mail.
admit you're something. What? Come on.
I get a lot of panties.
I have to
That
stop.
just showed the formula of what you're doing.
It's just like, come on. You have more than rhythm, Josh. You have more than rhythm.
But it is true that I have old women who send me their old panties in the mail.
That's fantastic.
It's like the Tom Jones thing.
Giant panties.
That was the name of my first punk rock band.
Giant panties. Backguano says, fantastic show last week. Can Spike, in his best Dennis Miller, tell my joke? The Chinese place on Pico has a new soup dumpling called the Spy Balloon. Can you say that in your best Dennis Miller?
What's the name of the place again?
The Chinese place on Pico.
The Chinese place on Pico has a new entree.
Soup dumpling.
Soup dumpling. They call it the Space Balloon. Cha-cha-choo-choo-choo-cha-cha.
Wow.
What's next? Something equally ridiculous?
Terrence Caulfield says, did either of you ever fill your cup with every flavor of soda from the self-serve soda machine? What did you call it? A kamikaze? A suicide? A third reference for killing yourself that was way inappropriate for young kids to call a drink?
Wait, is this a takeoff on me having taken a little
No,
bit
it's
of
not
everything?
always about you, Andy.
Sure, it's
For
not about me and my
fuck's
thing.
sake. Jesus Christ. People weren't watching your whole life so they could make
that's
references
not
about
my
it later.
narcissism. Yelling at me is not going to help, but it could help.
It feels good, though. I did. Well, we had the McDonald's was our school lunchroom basically across the street. So yes, people would do it, and we would. I never did it because it'd be fucking gross. Why waste a drink?
Yes.
But others would, and I recall it being called kamikaze.
Oh, so you just take a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yeah, full
and,
sweep, like running the piano keyboard.
I think it would have to taste okay.
Well, it's all sugar.
Yeah, that's true. Not for me anymore. Those days are over, baby.
Why? Because
Only have type 2 diabetes.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's not the commercials, it's the diabetes that gets me.
Uncle Pete says, how dare you? That's all he says.
Well, he's right.
Why can't my cats get along? Says, love you both, but am I evil for loving it when Josh makes fun of Andy?
Oh, that's the show.
See, that's why it works.
Exactly.
Delicious Mick says, Andy, I'm pleased to hear you're not starting a movement against me. I appreciate the measured response from you both, and I'm now under the impression you've been exposed to almost exclusively the political stuff, which, to be honest, kind of bores me. I guess this is the crossover with you guys, Corolla's and interviewing ability and improv skills. This is the guy who said, how could there be crossover between I Like You and Joe Rogan and Corolla?
Yeah. Right. Okay, but I lost the question. What is he saying now?
He's saying that he understands now that if you've just been exposed to the political aspect of it, you would hate him far more than if you listened to the show, and that was just a small.
Got you. Yes, that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah, I think we brought us all together with that one.
There's another paragraph of this thing. Corolla's interviewing and improv skills, Harris's stuff on free will and psychedelics, Peterson's psychology lectures and evolutionary biology, breakdown of the Bible. Rogan's funny, but I get a ton more out of the pods with the science-y folks than his stand-up.
Yeah.
Josh ain't wrong about the meathead chatter. I'm about to eat chicken heads for the first time as a direct result of Joe Rogan experience.
Okay, what does that mean? You can eat chicken heads?
Hearts. I'm sorry, chicken
hearts.
Oh,
okay, that's better.
Sorry. I don't know. As a podophile, I like to imagine there's a world somewhere out there in the multiverse where you all get along and I get to enjoy the resulting pods. Sorry this is so long. I'm really high and realize I didn't ask a question. Y'all fuck with organ meat?
I haven't. I'm not a bit. Is that like derma? That's stuffed derma, right?
No, organ meat could be liver. Organ meat.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Sweetbreads, which is pancreas.
My dad made a nice chicken liver, chopped liver.
Yeah, I'm not against it. It doesn't. I'm not an adventurous eater. Like if it sounds weird, I got to try it.
Yes,
but if it sounds edible, then I'm all in. You know,
like the depressed guy who went around the world and they keep showing him now. Who was that guy?
Anthony Bourdain.
He would eat any. That was his whole thing. Oh, I have to eat a cow's liver.
Right. Like I probably am not. I don't think that I'd go brains.
Yeah, that's true.
But you know, liver is probably the best of the organ meats for me.
Well, aren't brains a little? What's there? There's no meat in there. Oh God, I'm making myself a little sick now.
All right.
What do you do with brains? Obviously, I don't know what to do.
Zeke Fossey says if you were given $1 million for every hot dog that you ate in a half hour, but if you throw up, you get 0, how many would you try to eat? I think in a half hour, I could probably get $7 million worth of hot dogs in me.
Yeah. I'll do anything for a half hour.
Could you eat 7 hot dogs without throwing up?
No.
Yeah, I think I could.
In a half hour?
In a half hour. I couldn't do it in like 10 minutes. But over a half hour, I think I could.
Yeah, but you know what? What you're doing there is they're indicating the outer level of what you could do. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Like, in other words, they're saying to you, the bet for them would be, you think you could do 9.5 hours, but you will very quickly see after the third or fourth one that you will then die.
Well, I think they're asking, what is that? Because clearly you won't die because we've seen the competitions.
People do die, don't they?
They don't
seems
die.
to me,
No, they don't die.
It seems to me a way to make yourself dead.
But I believe I probably could eat 9 that way, but that's why I'm going 7.
Oh, I see. I think the only eating contest I really like is those Liberty Mutual ones. They're really great. With eating the pie contest.
Oh, you seem to like that one. Full Dork says, would you rather be world-class attractive, have a billionaire parents, or a third thing? I think I'm going to stick with being world-class attractive. It's worked out.
I would like to be world-class attractive.
It's not bad.
No, Josh. Yeah. No one's. You're handsome. You're certainly, etc.
Still my favorite podcast. P.S. I like the Karen song unironically.
Oh boy, I can't go there with you, Karen. Don't waste your time on me, Karen. Can't you see? How's that good at any age?
He didn't even like Karen unironically.
Karen.
Dan Wade asks, what's your favorite Yates? Who's your favorite Yates? What's your favorite yeast? I like Stephen Elton, William Butler, and Brewers, in no particular order.
Wow. How many Yates are there?
We don't need
one.
We don't need more than mentioned, really.
Yeast, I'm not a big fan of yeast. I mean, I'm glad it's here, but don't get crazy.
Wampus Reynolds, again, no sincerity at all today. Wampus Reynolds asks, looking back on your life in stand-up, do you divide your career into periods? How many? Do you have pithy names for them? Thanks.
I don't really do that. I mean, I kind of remember I do remember like 5 years on the road as being a discrete thing from them coming back off of that 5 years. But otherwise, it's like constantly, I'm going to break one of these days. It's going to be huge. It just hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, I have like 2 periods. One is it could happen. The other one is it's over. That's... No, if anything,
they're both compelling.
I mean, like my road years, I think is one. The first 5 years of stand up, which included tons and tons of road one-nighter kind of work. I think of that as a thing, and then after I moved to LA, I think of another thing. Yeah,
that makes sense. I say before I moved to LA and after.
Sure.
So,
Munson3786 says, I knew Thought Spiral had invaded my head when I accidentally got ink on my dress shirt, and I heard the voice of Josh as Huell Hauser going, that's fantastic! Thank you and best regards.
Well, thank you. We want to be not an earworm, but a pleasant reminder.
Right. An ear friend. Daisy what? Daisy Petunia says, you're good with dating advice. How soon should I start dating after being acquitted for killing my wife? How soon do I let my kids meet the new person?
I'm very happy with that question. I think it's about 6 months. And it shouldn't be someone who was like your babysitter previously. You know what I'm saying? Try and think outside the box.
This last one says, note to Josh, please leave off my IG handle, Estate Snail, when reading the comment. Thanks. Love the show.
Wow.
And if you love the show, go to buymeacoffee.com/thoughtspiral and support the said endeavor, like so many of you have, and we deeply appreciate it.
When you say said
so
endeavor,
many, maybe that might be an overstatement.
said endeavor, where'd you just come up with that? I like that.
Yeah.
Also, don't forget, you can buy us coffee.
Right. Good. Thanks for
buycoffee.com.
Thanks for covering that.
Oh, maybe I'll hang up on you.
Okay, maybe you could buy a Cameo.
Diaphragmatic breathing. Jews. Sa 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 sa. Goodbye.